be about how to create a QR code. So if you're not familiar with what a QR code is, this right here on my screen is an example of one. And so it's kind of like a barcode, but it's a little bit more dynamic than a standard barcode because it allows you to communicate either a website link or a piece of text or all kinds of different information that you can put inside of a QR code to share with other people. So, for instance, our Seesaw logins that students are going to be using have QR codes that they use to log into their Seesaw class. And you might also find that there are important links or things you want to share with students that you could create a QR code for to make it easier for them to access. So I have my iPad right here, and I'm actually going to make that a little bit smaller so you'll get a sense of what it will look like. There's my QR code. I'm actually going to pull up my camera app, and you'll see I'm going to hold it right up, and it detects a QR code right there. And on the top of my screen, it says open google.com in Safari, because that's what I created the QR code for. And I'm just going to tap on it with my finger. And now you'll see there's the Google website. So that's what a QR code can do. It can allow you to share a website link. So we're going to talk about how to actually make one of those. And to do that, I am using a website called and there's a hyphen, QR code generator.com. There are a ton of these websites out there. I particularly like this one because I have the ability to sign in and save QR codes, and also creating what are called dynamic QR codes, which are QR codes that you can change the links to later on. This is what's called a static QR code right here. So once you create it, that's all it can do. It can't do anything else. You can't change it to be something else. So I like this website. You like I said, you might find another website that you prefer better, and that's totally fine. So on the QR code generator, the -QR-generator.com, there are 5 types of QR codes I can create. There's free text, so you could say, I like donuts. So when someone scans a QR code, they'll have a text box on their screen that would say, I like donuts. You can share contact information, and then when they scan it, when somebody scans it, it can actually fill in that information in a contact sheet on a contact app, whether you're on Android or Google. Same thing with phone or SMS, which is texting. But obviously, we're going to be using URL. And so all I need to do is type the URL. So like I did before, I can say www.google.com. And you'll notice that as I'm typing it in, the QR code changes a little bit. And that's because it is representing the text that you want somebody to be able to scan. So that's pretty simple. Now, after that, you're going to want to save and download your QR code. And you can do just a simple save, and it will give you this file as it is. I always like going to the 3 dots and customizing some of these settings. So you can do the size of it. So 200 pixels is the default. If you need it to be large for somebody, you may want to increase make a custom size, something like 600 or however large you want it. And then there's also an option for no margin, and this would just mean that the image basically takes up the entirety. The QR code takes up the entirety of the image file. There's no margin around there. The only thing with this option that I've found is depending on the background you're putting this QR code in. Sometimes QR code scanners have a hard time detecting a QR code without a margin around it. So I usually leave that unchecked. So now I'm just going to go and click save. And I'm going to give this file a name. and the format, which for easy sharing, you're going to want to save it as a PNG file and then hit save. And so now you'll see I've just downloaded that file and I'm going to open it, and here it is right there. That's the image file that it created. And so again, if I go back to my iPad and I open up my camera app and I just hold up the camera right to the QR code, you'll see it detects it. And at the top it says open google.com in Safari, and I just tap on it with my finger, and there I go to Google. So you could do this with a website you want to share with kids. You might want to do it with your Zoom link. So students could just scan the Zoom QR code and they could go right into your Zoom, whatever you're doing with them on Zoom. There's lots of different possibilities for what you could do with these QR codes. So we're going to leave it here for today. And thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.